Hi. Today I'm up in an area that I've been working on for the past week. Last Saturday I came in here, the poplar trees behind me, I cut all the lower limbs down. Used a ladder, got up there pretty high and cut them limbs down. And wanted to get the sunlight into the older pawpaw trees that I have established in here. 2008 I planted these pawpaw trees in here. Well, this one right here in particular. The other one's a little bit later. I have one that I planted at the same time, but accidentally got cut down and new growth came up and I left it alone, and it took a little while to come up, but it's up now. And then 2009, 2010, probably 2010, I planted these poplars up in here to hold back erosion because I had the place logged out. That being said, now I've put a lot of work into this area, and I planted some pawpaws up here to try and establish a small colony of pawpaws. I don't think I'm going to plant any more up here because the soil is so rocky. I had a hard time getting these trees in the ground. I had to mix a lot of potting soil with the dirt that was there to be able to get them pawpaws in and hopefully get the roots established, which, you know, it's a good thing. Maybe the soil that I did have on hand has a lot of amenities in it, which this fall I'm going to fertilize this area a little bit, and then I'm going to clear cut a lot of this bank. That being said, what I'm going to attempt to do here in a little bit, I'm going to take that phone off and I'm going to walk up through here. I'm going to try to pan and show you what I've done, and then we'll make that loop and come right back this way. I planted a total of 5 pawpaws. Now, because of the soil, we're talking, man, the last 3 I did, it took me an hour for each tree just to get them in the ground. It's a lot of work, but I don't want to go through that anymore. I'd rather put something out there. So without further ado, let me show you what I've done here thus far. Now this one right here, I planted day before yesterday. See, I got the burlap around there. It's a double wall on the burlap, and it's trying to filter as much sun as possible, because when they're young like that, they do real well in the sun, and that's what you, or in the shade, my apologies. But when they get older, you want them in the sun, which here in a couple years, that will be in the full sun. This one right here is a much younger pawpaw that was germinated this year. And I utilized a tomato cage. Excuse me, I've had the bug. Still have a little bit of a cough. And you can see that dirt, it's got a lot of gravel in it. A lot of the rocks I threw over there into the driveway. And right here I used plastic stakes, which that one right there, it started pounding through. But that's a young pawpaw in there. Now you can see I have older pawpaws, and I'm gonna walk down here a little further. Excuse me. And there's another pawpaw right there. I managed to get all these pawpaws into full sun because I got up into those poplar trees high enough to cut the overhanging limbs down. Now, here's one pawpaw in particular that I had planted today. That one here took me a good hour. And I came out here and checked, roughly around 2:30, 3 o'clock, it starts getting full sun. And I think it'll be okay with that amount of sun. From 3 o'clock on, it should be okay as far as it gets older producing. You just got to keep this all cleaned up. Now I'm back over here to the stake. You can see where I cut all the maples out of the way. I tell you what, that summertime bug, man, that's something else. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That being said, let me get her off this post, get away from her tab. I just wanted to share with you and show you the amount of work I've done here. It may not look like a whole lot to some people, but excuse me, it's a lot for me. I'm getting older. It won't be long. I'm going to quit doing all this. I'm going to quit trying to plant trees. I'm going to quit trying to keep things clear-cutted and everything. And my goal is later on down the road, I got a bunch of oak trees down there in the yard planted out there. I'm going to try and plant some more in there, maybe. And then I'm going to load it up with clover. I'd already told the wife we're both getting older. I'm going to condense that yard space smaller than what it is right now. But I'm willing to bet you I'm probably pushing 300 trees I've planted in here. And I'm probably pushing, excuse me again, my word. I've probably ground up a good 300 or more tree stumps on this property. It's a hot day. But even as we speak, there's a video being downloaded that my son had created, which he does good work. His YouTube page, by the way, is U-Source Media. Check him out. He's good at it. Well, anyways, get rid of this cough. My name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe.